What's up, guys? Music fan here again. Just getting you guys back onto the question of the month, which was supposed to have been uploaded back 5, 6 days ago. Like my sincere apologies for missing that day. I had so much stuff to do, and lately I've been dealing with something very personal, which I won't explain here, but. That's kind of factor into the delay of the question of the month video that was supposed to have been uploaded this past Friday. But let's take time right now to get that out of the way. Now this question of the month asked in the last month asked what are your expectations of U2's up and coming new album that's supposed to be released around September, October, or November of this year. And so far only one person commented on the first question of the month, and I think his name is, if I can read it here, Reese Cooper, I think your name is. I think that's how you spell your name, Reese Cooper, I think. And he says, I'm expecting the same old that came from No Line on the Horizon, their previous studio album, which isn't a bad thing. Hopefully there could be a little more experimentation in the way of genre, maybe a dab of industrial, something a little heavier than what we've come to expect from them. And I agree with that sentiment, Reese. I really agree with that sentiment. Like, well, almost all of it. Like, I doubt the band I doubt the band is gonna go industrial in this sense, because they already experimented with that genre a bit with Achtung Baby, and they're welcome to if they want to. I'm just not expecting them to maybe a heavier record, maybe, but at this point in their age, in their mid 50s or so, like all the members are probably in their early 50s by now. Maybe it's not going to be as shocking or as reinventive as Achtung Baby was in the turn of the 90s. As for my particular expectations of U2's new album, I'm kind of midway 50-50 on the expectation. On the one hand, I really don't want to set my expectations too high, because I did that with their last album, No Line on the Horizon, which came out around 2009, like 4 years ago. And not to say that it's a bad album by any means, but as far as, the pre-album hype that the band gave before the release of that album says, this is going to be our most experimental record ever, nobody's going to recognize this, then and when fans heard the actual record, while it wasn't really that bad, it really wasn't that, it wasn't bad by U2 standards, but as far as the expectations of difference and new, I think audiences were expecting something along the lines as shocking and as new and as unrecognizably U2, but at the same time not sounding like U2. That's what Achtung Baby did. It broke the mold that the band established with the 80s, and then it just it felt like U2, but at the same time it didn't really fit with any of their stuff before Achtung Baby. And I think with No Line, people expected that to happen, and it didn't necessarily, or it didn't meet the audience's expectations of that. So going into this new album, I'm not necessarily expecting much. I am expecting something, but I'm not expecting along the lines of grandiose, big, giant reinvention. But that being said, on the other hand, I have a really strong, really powerful gut feeling that this new album, this upcoming U2 album, is going to be something. It's going to be their fourth masterpiece. The first one being, I think it was, first one was Joshua Tree, second Achtung Baby, third All That You Can't Leave Behind. And I have a strong gut feeling that this is going to be the fourth. Because, for one, they're experimenting with Danger Mouse, Brian Burton, who, if you know, has worked with the Gorillaz, which includes Blur's Damon Albarn. Also he was also working, Nars Barkley too, like lots of, very famous with CeeLo Green, and a lot of more avant-garde, very under the radar, very alternative artists at the same time too, within the, correct me if I get this wrong, but also the rap and the rock genres respectively, underground genres, and stuff that as far as the general public sectors are concerned, like never even noticed these type of artists or these types of bands, apart from Gorillaz, because everybody knows Gorillaz now. But this gives me like a really strong expectation, a strong feeling for this album to be great, and that's because this time around they're not making any predictable leanings on their comforts of what people expect U2 to be. Mostly people associate U2 with being very anthemic, being very operatic, like Bono having this larger than life voice throughout their tenure, Edge, being the man with the echoey guitar, and Larry and Adam being the very tightly knit rhythm section. And I think this time around there's a feeling that, at least looking around U2 fan sites and YouTube boards, that this album is starting to feel like, this is kind of weird because no other song has been released by now, that this album is definitely, it may not even live up to the expectations that people have with Achtung Baby. Like people are expecting U2 to remake their image and shock people again, just like they did with Achtung Baby, But I think in their current age right now, and with Bono doing his political activism all over the world now, it's not. I have a feeling at the same time that it's not going to be as shocking, or maybe it won't be as, lopsided in a sense that this excuse me, I repeat myself. That this new U2 album will present, but at the same time, it will possibly present a new standard for U2. It will maybe present them in a much newer light. It's like when Green Day, like before American Idiot, everyone assumed Green Day was just a regular punk rock band, pop rock. I get confused with saying the words, pop punk band. And, they only knew them for songs like, Long View and Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, and those, their famous songs, singles from the 90s. And then when American Idiot came out, that blew everyone's perceptions of Green Day out the window. They were back and brand new and epic and all that. And, it could happen with U2. It could happen that the new album that they're making with Danger Mouse, which, looking at his catalog, is very non-U2-ish, is very it's kind of strangely out of the mainstream consciousness, but at the same time it's very within the mainstream consciousness because of his success with the Gorillaz and his success with Nars Barkley, amongst other of his work, and pretty much everyone has said, except Bono, of course, because he doesn't seem to be that reliable on pre-album hype or whatever. But everyone has said already that the new album is taking a different form than anything that they've done in the past, with Danger Mouse at the helm. So, if all expectations are right, then this album will very much live up to be U2's fourth masterpiece, their fourth greatest album ever, along the lines of Joshua Tree, Achtung Baby, and All That You Can't Leave Behind. And so, but regardless, I'm kind of still keeping this on a very middle ground type of thing, and for the most part, I am gonna sit back, and when this album comes out, and I buy it and I get it in my grubby little hands, then I definitely will listen to it with an open mind. I will listen to without any sort of preconceived notions of this record better live up to my vision of what it should be, or else, you know, But either way, like I mean, this either way, I have a really gut feeling that it's going to be a phenomenal, awesome record. I don't know why, but I just have this feeling in my gut that tells me it's going to be an awesome record, because you two are a phenomenal, phenomenal, awesome, legendary band, like, and it's no secret of why I'm such a huge fan of them and of the band, and yeah. So anyway, before it gets much longer, it's already 10 minutes already. Wow, I do really long videos. Let's go to this next question of the month. And this next question of the month I've been thinking about a while, like a lot. And and this next question of the month happens to ask, what is, or maybe who is your favorite pop artist? Who is your favorite pop musician? And I kind of ask that because also lately I've been into kind of a bit of a pop type of mood. I guess in the sense of how I define pop music, and you know what? Actually, scratch that. Scratch that previous question that I mentioned. Like forget favorite artist. I would like to ask you guys, what are your opinions? What are for your personal preference only? What is your what do you view pop music to be? Like, I mean, is pop music original? Does it have really great songwriting? Is it just a corporate entity that the corporations just bring out like similar to junk food or whatever? Like, I mean, that's a new question of the month actually. Like what do you what is pop music to you? What is pop music to you, the viewer, you who is watching this video right now? For you, what is pop music to you? And I kind of ask because there's so many definitions of what people think of pop music to be. And like certainly around the internet I've seen lots of people antagonize pop music of being very unoriginal, uninspiring, too clean, not daring or experimental enough. And I can understand such resentments, and sometimes I can even agree with such sentiments, But if you want my answer to that, then we're gonna have to wait until the 20th of next month. So if you want, guys, you can answer right here. Question of the month asks, what is pop music to you? How do you define pop music, and why? Why do you define? Why do you have that definition of what pop music is to you? And just simply meant to be a discussionary type of thing, is really not meant to be anything else. And yeah, it's pretty much it. Music fan, question of the month. Take care, guys. See you later.